Senator Heitkamp, thank you for your leadership on this. You have been dogged, you have been determined. It was just about a year ago that you were down on the floor and you had your pictures there. But it was not only Savannah, it was Stella, it was Monica, Mona Lisa, who were members of the tribe in North Dakota. You brought tears to my eyes, and I know you did so many. I also stood on the floor and I spoke of Sophie Sergi, who was an Alaska Native woman from a place, small little village called Pitka's Point. And she was a student at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. And in 1993, in August, she was found raped and murdered in the bathroom on campus there. And no word. That has been a cold case now for some 25 years. I'm wearing purple today because when I woke up and thought about what we were going to be doing this afternoon and shining this spotlight on murdered and missing Indigenous women, it took me back to a service that I attended in Kotzebue in September. Ashley Kelly May Robin Johnson Barr, her native name is Sanmigan, and Ashley was 10 years old when she was brutally murdered in Kotzebue after being kidnapped. The entire community was involved in her search. You don't ever forget these stories. You don't ever forget these beautiful 10-year-old children, or Sophie as a student in college, or Savannah. And so the effort that we are undertaking in conjunction with so many that have been working to really try to understand, what are we talking about? What are the numbers here? And again, remembering that Savannah and Sophie and now Ashley are not numbers. You know, when we came together to focus on the missing and murdered Indigenous women, at the time, the thought was that the problem is a problem primarily on remote Indian reservations where we know that law enforcement assets are sparse, and you've got issues of cooperation between the tribes in the state and the federal law enforcement agencies that are just difficult. But now we're learning. We're learning in a very clear way, and thank you to the Urban Indian Health Institute. We've got 507 cases like Sophie's and Savannah's, Native women who were killed in urban areas. 282 confirmed murdered, 127 confirmed missing, and 98 cases in an unknown status. These cases exist across 71 urban areas that were included for the study, everywhere from Baltimore and Orlando all the way up north to Utqiagvik in Alaska. And as disturbing as all of this is, I think we know it's probably not surprising. 71% of American Indians and Alaska Natives live not on the reservations or in remote areas. They live in urban areas. In Alaska, our largest city, we always say that Anchorage is the largest Native village in our state. And as we look at these statistics, gives me no satisfaction. But again, unfortunately, no surprise that Anchorage is among the top 10 cities. We are number 3 for missing and murdered Indigenous women's. Overall, the state of Alaska comes in number 4 with 52 cases. We're right behind New Mexico, Washington, and Arizona. And again, the concern that we have is that due to the challenges that you've mentioned, Senator Heitkamp, in the data collection, we have to assume here that the 506 identified cases probably undercount the incidence of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in urban America. So we have a great deal of work to do. We'll have an opportunity in Indian Affairs today to take up Savannah's Act in the business meeting that we have, but we need to be doing more. We need to not only work with law enforcement and at all levels to ensure that we have accurate data. We've also got to resource this. We have to put the money towards it. On the floor last year, I mentioned that Canada has invested tens of millions of dollars in a national commission to inquire into the loss of Indigenous women and girls along the Trail of Tears in British Columbia. So more than $54 million that Canada has spent on that effort in just that one portion of their country. How much have we invested here? About zero. About zero is what we're told. We have more than a duty to act on this. So the effort to shine the spotlight, to ensure that we are understanding, that we are resourcing, and that we are there for our Native women, children, and men as well. This is the work that we begin today. So thank you all.